So, good morning. I'm Dr. Kanade, and today we will start looking at the concept of looping in the assembly language programming of PCATINA 458. Now, when we say looping, it means repetition of certain tasks which we want to perform. Okay. For example, let's see here. Okay. Uh, if we have a question to add number 3 5 times, means 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 5 times we want to add number 3. So how can we write this in form of a program, considering what you have learned already only? Okay, let's say we move LW, means value 0 is moved to W. Okay, means WRG becomes 0, and then add LW, add LW, add LW. How many times? 5 times. I have written this instruction 5 times. Add LW, add LW. So LW means the value or the literal given in the instruction will be added to W by this instruction, right? So W was 0. So after this instruction, this 3 will be added to 0. So the WRG will become 3. After this instruction, this number 3 will be added to W. W was already 3. So 3 plus 3, it is 6. Then after this instruction, W will become 9, right? After this instruction, W will become C. After this instruction, W will become F, right? F. These are hexadecimal numbers. Just keep an eye on these. These are in hexadecimal terms. So when we add 3 5 times, in decimal, if you want to say how much, it is 15, right? 3 into 5, 15. And that is what we get in the assembly also. When we write in hexadecimal terms, what we get? 0F, right? Simple. No problem at all to add the number multiple number of times. But now let's say instead of this 5 times, I say 15 times. What you will do? Write again 15 number of times. If then I say 100 times, will you write 100 times? No, it is not a good practice, right? It is not a good idea to write the same instruction, or yeah, it is not a good idea to write the same instruction multiple number of times, right? Not at all a good practice. So in this case, here comes the concept of looping, right? Now the last line I am saying, instead can we use DEC FSZ. Now what is this instruction? We will see in a very soon in a couple of slides. Okay, but how we can perform the same operation like here, whatever we have done here, right? What we have done, we have performed this operation multiple number of times. So how can we do this in a concise way, in a very short way, instead of repetition? What we can do it like this, right? We will set a count. Okay, we will have a count variable, something, right? Okay, count. And as the problem said, we want to add the number 5 times, so we will set count equal to 5. Count or counter, whatever the name you say, that count we will initialize to 5. Okay, then we will start adding the number, add number 3 to WREG. Then we will decrement DEC, decrement the count, and check whether it is 0. If it is 0, then we will, when it is 0 means when count is 0, we know that this instruction has been run 5 number of times, so it is done. So we will say here is the answer, and we will quit the program. But if it is not 0, if the count is not 0, means let's say from the beginning count is 5, we add 3 to WREG, so WREG is now 3. Then we decrement the count, so count becomes 4. Is it 0? count is 4. So is it 0? No, it is not, because it is 4. So no. So repeat. We'll go again here. Add number 3 to WREG. Then again we'll decrement. Now decrement. So what has happened? Count is 3. Is it 0? No. So we'll again add. So this is the third time we are adding. So W becomes 9. And count was 3. So decrement count. Now the count is 2. This way we will keep on repeating this section, means this addition of 3 to W. We will repeat how many times? Count number of times. Okay. So 5 times we will repeat the addition of 3. And once the count is 0, means it will indicate that we have done this 5 times. Then this, is it 0? The answer to this question will become yes. And then we will say, we will move the data, means the result is ready. Now this is your result. We will display or whatever we will do with the result. Okay. So this is what the looping does. You can see here, loop. Loop means a continuous loop. This is a loop, right? This section, this side, this is the loop. Okay. And it runs some count number of times. We need a counter for a loop. And when the counter becomes 0, or to be precise or to be more generalized, when the counter or the condition becomes whatever we want, that time we will exit the loop. Okay. Now for this purpose, for decrement count, check if it is 0 and see here what I have written here. Skip the next instruction. What was the next instruction? Repeat. Okay. Repeat was the next instruction. So if the count is 0, we will skip the next instruction and go to the instruction after that. Like we will jump like this. Okay. So this is actually done by using one particular instruction called DECFSZ. Okay. Now what this instruction is going to do, we'll see. This thing is now implemented or coded here. Okay, these are the instructions. This again is just a word which is called a label. Okay, you can use anything as a label. Okay, the instruction is add LW3, like we had in the previous slide also. We had this add LW3 instruction, right? That after that add LW3, we are using DECFSZ count. Okay, just to make this is actually only I have written this section on the instructions, but there will be 2 additional instructions before this: move LW0 and count. This count is actually a variable. Okay, so for that also we will have to do something. Okay, I will tell you on the further slides how we do that. Okay, so let's say count is a register. Okay, count is a register which holds the value 5. Okay, so what we are doing, we are decrementing this F, means we are decrementing the value inside the F. Then this S stands for skip the next instruction, and this Z stands for 0 flag. Okay, it is a little more complicated. It's a very small instruction in writing, but it has a lot of things which it is doing. There are, see,
sir,
can
you repeat this?
Yeah, I'm repeating. Yeah, see, this DECFSZ, it is a complicated instruction. You can see there are n number of parts. DEC stands for decrement. What we are going to decrement? We are going to decrement value in F. F means any file register, which is provided here. So what we are doing? Decrementing F. Okay. So whatever the value was in count, Let's say here we had count equal to 5. Okay. If count was equal to 5. Okay. Now after this instruction, count will become 4. Okay. We have what we have done, decremented the value in F. Now as you remember, if you recall, whenever there is an arithmetic instruction, flags will be affected. Particularly after DECFSZ, you can see if the result of the operation is 0, 0 flag will be set, right? If the result of this operation is 0, 0 flag will become 1. Now you tell me, when we decremented the count, it was 5, now it has become, from 5 it has become 4. There is a decrement. Is the answer 0? No, right? The answer is not yet 0. Answer is 4. So 0 flag will be set or not?
No.
No, 0 flag will not be set, right? What this S stands for here? S stands for skip the next instruction. Okay. This S in the instruction indicates skip the next instruction. If Z equal to 1. Okay. This, there is a Z, right? SZ. Let's say you can say in a group, SZ stands for skip the next instruction if Z equal to 1. Z, this Z is what? This Z is the flag. Where is this flag? This flag is in the status register. When does this 0 flag become 1? When the result of operation, result of the previous instruction is 0. Now in this case you can see, when we decremented count from 5 to 4, the result is 4. So the 0 flag will not be set. Z will remain 0. 0 flag will remain 0. So will it skip the next instruction? No. The next instruction will be executed. Okay. What this SZ stands for? SZ stands for skip the next instruction if Z is 1. But now Z is not 1. Z in this case is still 0. So this instruction, this is the next instruction, right? This instruction will not be skipped. This instruction will be still be executed. Okay. Now what this instruction says? Go to again. Again is a label. So after this instruction, it will go here. It will go to again. What is written there? Add the LW3. Means it will add 3. Okay. Where will it be added? This 3 will be added to W. Right? Means now W has become 6. Now the next instruction is DECFSZ count. What was the value of count? 4. Right? This DEC means decrement. So what will happen? This will become 3. The result is of the result of this decrement operation is now 3. So what will be the value of Z? Z will be how much?
0.
It will still be 0 because 0, the result is not 0. So this instruction will be executed or not? It will be.
It will execute.
Z is not 1. This instruction will be skipped when Z is 0. Sorry, Z is 1. Okay. At the moment Z is still 0. So again it will go back here. Go to again. Then again it will add. Now this will become 9. Now we will decrement. So from 3 it will become 2. Z will be still 0. because the result of the operation is 2. It is not 0. So it will again go back to here. It will add. Now it will be 12. Now we will again decrement from this 2. It will become 1. Z will still be 0. So we will again go back here. We will add 3. So W will become 15. Now we will decrement again. This 1 will become 0. Now as this result of the decrement operation is 0, what will happen? Z flag will become 1. Right? The result of this operation, of the decrement operation, is 0. So Z flag will become 1. That's why what will happen? This SZ will kick in. Right? This section of the instruction, DCFSZ, skip the next instruction if Z is 1. This is what is the instruction says. Now at this location, Z has become 1. So this instruction will be skipped and the instruction next to the next instruction will be executed. So this instruction, what it says, move WF port B. So whatever value of W is, it will be moved to port B. Means what is the value of W now? It is 15. So 15 will go to port B. The value 15 will go to port B. What is this 15 basically? This is the result of the operation. What was the operation? Addition of 3 5 times. Right? Means what? 3 into 5. Right? This 15 I am written in decimal. You can have it written like this also, 0x 0f. This way also you can write. Okay. So this single instruction is, you can see, it is very important to look at. There are 6 letters in the instruction and they are very powerful. You can see DEC stands for decrement. F, as usual, stands for file register address. Okay. The operation, whatever the operation this instruction bit says, it will be performed on the value in that F. Okay. This SZ says skip the next instruction if 0 is set. 0 flag is set. This is the big meaning of this SZ. Right? SZ stands for skip the next instruction if 0 flag is set. This is the big meaning of this SZ. Okay. So whenever we want to implement a loop using this instruction, note that the next instruction to DCFSZ should be the looping or jump instruction. Go to. Okay. Go to again. This kind of instruction we have to use in this case. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask right now. Yes? Any questions?
ही जी इन्स्ट्रक्शन आहे ती 8051 च्या DJNZ सारखीच आहे ना, हे somewhat similar आहे. Decrement and jump if not 0.
Yeah, it was only J and Z ना, D होतं का त्याला?
हा, decrement and jump if not 0, DJNZ.
Actually थोडासा
but it was related to accumulator and इथं 0 flag आहे.
नाही. Actually it is the same thing. म्हणजे तू जे म्हणतो आता it was related to accumulator. Actually या केस मध्ये म्हणजे पर्टिक्युलरली पिकच्या केस मध्ये जो 0 फ्लॅग जो असतो हा कुठल्याही इन्स्ट्रक्शन मुळे ऍक्टिव्हेट, नॉट ऑल बट मेनी इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स कॅन ऍक्टिव्हेट दोज फ्लॅग्स, स्टेटस फ्लॅग्स. 8051 चं स्पेसिफिक असं होतं की तो फक्त अक्युमुलेटरच्या बेसिसवर काम करायचा. हा एक डिफरन्स आहे जो की वेगळा पार्ट आहे. आणि JNZ ही जी आहे, सी DJNZ जर का ती इन्स्ट्रक्शन असेल, जम्प इफ नॉट झिरो. ऍक्च्युली या टाईपच्या इन्स्ट्रक्शन आपल्याकडे पण आहेत, त्या आपण बघणार आहे अजून. ओके, ही थोडी वेगळी आहे. ही जी आहे ना, ही जम्प ऑर नॉट जम्प म्हणते ही, राईट.
आणि इथं स्किप आहे.
या अशा टाईपच्या इन्स्ट्रक्शन मध्ये ही जी गो टू आहे याची गरज पडणार नाही. जम्पिंग साठी इथं वेगळी इन्स्ट्रक्शन घेतोय. दॅट्स व्हॉट आय वॉज ट्राइंग टू टेल यू, that whenever there is this DECFSZ kind of instruction, the next instruction has to be a jumping instruction or jump instruction. हे जेव्हा आपण वापरू DECFSZ तेव्हा next instruction has to be a jump instruction. But we also have some other instructions where jumping will be inbuilt inside the instruction. But in that case, we will have to do it in a little different way. We will see that how we will do. Okay. But in a way, you are right that there is, whenever we want to have a loop, we will have to use two things. One is a counter, which will be decremented. Okay. Which the counter will be decremented, and it has to be associated with a jump. The logic has to be matched with the way the instruction is operating. What I mean is, in this case, you can see the instruction is going to check the zero flag and going to skip the next instruction. There is no jumping inside the instruction. There is no jump inbuilt inside the instruction. Therefore, this instruction has to be accompanied with a jump instruction, like a go-to instruction. Okay. But there are these kind of instructions, JC, JNC, JZ, JNZ. We have those instructions that we will see where jumping is inbuilt. And that's why the way they will be operating will be a little different than this mode. Okay, we will see those distinctions when we write our programs. Okay. Anything else? अजून कोणाला काही questions? Okay, so shall we move ahead? Okay. So let's see. We will write a full program now. Write a program to clear WREG. Okay. First thing, we want to clear WREG, means the working register. Then add 3 to W 10 times. Okay, and place the result of operation in the SFR of port B, and we want to use the DECFSZ, means the instruction that we just saw. Nothing but we are going to see the full program now. Okay. Now the first thing what was asked to us is clear WREG. Now, how to do this? Clear means to set W to 0. There are different ways. Okay. Here I am using one of the ways. I will tell you other ways as the time goes on, as we move on to more instructions. This is the simplest way that we have seen already, right? Move LW 0. What it does here is the literal that goes to W. So W has become now 0. But for the program, we need some additional things. For example, like I said on the previous slide, we have to set the count thing. This count is actually like in our higher level programming languages like C, we have some variables, right? So in that way, we are defining this variable count. Okay, it is done using this word EQU. What it means? Equal. Okay, and this is 0x25. Okay, what it is? It is the location 25H. Okay, means the memory address. This is the memory address we are using for the variable count. Okay, remember this is not the value. Okay, this is not the value, or this is not the value of the counter. Okay, this is the location where the counter value will be stored. Okay, now we must assign this value. What we want? 10 times, means the counter has to be set to 10. So this 10 should go where? In count. 10 should go to count. Now you tell me, do we have any instruction where we can assign a value to a register directly in a single instruction? Can we do this? Can we assign a value to a register directly in a single instruction? We cannot. We cannot assign a value directly to a register. What we have to do? We must take the value in W and then move the value from W to the register. Okay, so that's why we need two instructions to do this. Move LW, note down this D in single quotation marks 10. It indicates that 10 is a decimal value. It is not necessary to write it this way. You can also write 0x0a. Okay, you could have written it this way also, but just to show you how many different ways you can write values, I'm using this. And in this way, you get very clearly that we are adding the value 10 times. Okay, so see here what we have done. We have taken value 10 in W, and then from W we have moved it to F. What is F? F is the file register address. As usual, remember, F is always address of the file register or name of the file register. Okay, so count is the name of the register. What is its address? Its address is 25. And what will be the value at this location now? So if this is the memory map, okay, these are the addresses. This is here 0025. 025. This is the address. Then here we will have the value written like this: 08 or 10 is written inside the memory location pointed by 25. Okay, count is just a fancy name that we can give so that we remember that this location holds the counter. Okay, now move LW0. Register is already we have done made 0. What should be the next instruction now? The ones we have already seen. Yes? Add LW3. We have already seen this part. The next part we have already seen, right? Add LW3, DCFSZ, count, comma F. This is very, very important. This comma F is very important. What if you don't write this F here, what will happen? To understand that, you just have to go back to the format again. DCFSZ, the format of this instruction is like your regular instruction, DCFSZ, F comma D comma A. Okay, so F is what? The 8-bit address or the name of the register. A is for Access Bank. Bit means A is 0, Access Bank, A is 1, DSR mode. So you should be now very clear about this. This D stands for the destination bit, right? D stands for destination bit. What it means? When we perform this operation, after this decrement, the result of the operation should be stored either when D is equal to 0, the result will be stored in W. When D is 1, the result will be stored in F. So what will you prefer? Where you want to store the result of this decrement? Yes, somebody tell me. Where do you want to store the result of decrement? Means this 10 was the counter. You decrement this 10 to 9. From 10, we reduce to 9. Where will you store this 9? What will you prefer? W or F? Means W or count. Where will you store?
Count.
Count. Right? Because we want to again reduce that count. We want to keep track of the count all the time. Right? And anyway, in W, we are accumulating the result of this addition. Right? This addition we are already storing in W. So we cannot store anything in W now. In fact, I mean, we should not store anything in W. So this result of the decrement must go to F. Means we must say D is equal to 1. One way of saying that is saying F here. You remember sometimes we have written W instead of A, in such kind of cases. That W meant that the result will be stored to working register. Here this F means the result of this decrement operation will be stored in the file register. Which file register? This one, count. Okay. So the count will be decremented from 10 to 9 and the result of the decrement operation will be stored in the same location. So now instead of this 0A, it will become 09. Okay. Now once this is decremented, we are checking the 0 flag. The 0 flag will not be set because the answer is 9. So we will execute the next instruction and it will go here. It will keep on adding, and once the count becomes 0, 0 flag will be set and this instruction will be skipped and we will execute the next instruction to it, which is move WF. That is what is asked. Result should be placed in port B. So result is in W, it is moving to F, right? What is F? Port B. So the result will be placed in port B. Okay. So this is how we write our full program. Okay. Any questions? If anybody has not given attendance, please put your attendance properly. Okay. Any questions? Okay, I will put
सर
the
काउंटची
yes.
हॅलो काउंटची जी लोकेशन आपण EQU 0x25 केली आहे
हाँ.
ती जी इन्स्ट्रक्शन आहे ती प्रत्येक वेळी घेणं कंपल्सरी आहे का त्याच्याऐवजी म्हणजे
कुठलंही?
25 या लोकेशनच्या ऐवजी काही घेऊ शकतो?
You can take any address, no matter, doesn't matter. You will need just one file register address, that's it. We can have any address.
But that instruction is compulsory in every problem of such type.
Otherwise, instead of this count everywhere, you will have to write this number. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. We were talking about this count, right? Basically, the instructions that we have at our end are this DCFSZ, right? Here this F means what? File register. Means we have to provide the address of the file register, or yeah, basically address is required. Now what you can do, instead, if you don't want to use the count name, you will have to write this 25 here. Also, since we want to assign the value 10 to that counter, here also we will have to write down the 0x25. Okay, so see what we are doing here, 0x25. At both the locations you will have to write it. Now let's imagine that instead of only these 4 or what 8 instructions, you add some more instructions or some more data if you have at your end, and somehow that data goes on being stored in the memory here, in this memory. This is the RAM, right? This is the RAM. Let's say your program involves writing data to a lot of memory locations, and you start writing, and unknowingly or in some way what happens is your program memory, the RAM memory location, this location is getting overwritten, and this you find out after a certain period. Then what you will have to do, you will have to change the location of the counter to somewhere else, right? Now in this case, what you will have to do, wherever you have written the address of the counter, you will have to change it at all the places, right? Now instead, if I have used the count variable in this way, what I will do, I will just change it in this only one location. Let's say instead of 25, I want to have the counter at 50, at location 50. That's it. All these locations will assume now the count is actually location 50, right? So this is actually called the dynamic programming. Okay, this is basically dynamic programming that we actually, these kind of things we already have used in C programming language, when we, instead of adding certain numbers directly, for example, if I have if I tell you to write a program to add 3 and 5, okay, so what normally we will do, we say A is equal to 3, B is equal to 5, and then we take another variable C equal to A plus B. Something like this we will do. Why? We can actually do like this also. C is equal to 3 plus 5. This also we can do. But we don't normally do it like this. This is called hard coding. Okay. Instead, what we do, we assign the values to variables and use those variables in the operations. Because at one time I am asking you to add 3 plus 5. At some other time I may ask you to add 10 and 13. So at that time you will have to go inside the code, see where we have written the addition instruction, and then do it. And not only this, if I have asked to add these two numbers and also do multiplication, I also ask you to do division. Means if there are multiple places where these values are going to be used, then it is always better to use variables to assign those values to. So that instead of this 3 and 5 all the time, I will just use AB, right? And when I change my mind to perform the same operations on to different numbers, just these two instructions will change. Like here, I change these two numbers, the operations will automatically perform the updated answers. They will all automatically perform give us updated answers instead of giving the hard-coded answers. You're getting this point. This is like a variable assignment. Okay, this is the address we are assigning to count. Okay. That's why this is I would say a good practice. It is not a compulsory thing. Remember, this first instruction is not a compulsory instruction to execute the program. Okay, but in that case you will have to write wherever you want to perform operation on the value in the counter, you will have to write the same address wherever you are storing the counter. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, good.